looked at 2 geometric reasons, and what I'm going to do now is just show you the reasons that we have done, because like I've said to you guys, that what's quite useful is to have a little list for yourself as we go along with these geometric reasons, so that each time that you're doing a question, you've got a little cheat sheet, I suppose, where you can always just refer back to and check that your reasons are correct. So far what we have done are angles around a point, and we have done angles on a straight line. What we're going to look at today is a new reason, vertically opposite angles, but we'll get to that in a second. But so far on your cheat sheet, basically, you should have something like this. Hopefully you can all see that. Those are the first 2 reasons that we've done. So let's have a look at our new reason for today, vertically opposite. Or rather, these sort of 3 questions here is just a little recap of what we have done, just in case if you are new, you need a refresher of some geometry. If you guys have sort of been doing geometry at school for a while, then hopefully this will come nice and easy to you. But let's just recap what we have chatted about so far so that we can get into our next reason. So remember, guys, when we are working with, or when we are doing geometry, we always need to remember our reasons. It is so important that you remember your reasons. If you leave off your reason, then essentially what it's saying is that anything you've done before that doesn't really have any meaning in geometry. So we always have to give a reason for one statement or a statement that we've made. Alrighty, so remember the 2 reasons that we've done so far: angles on a straight line and angles around a point. I'm just going to put them here so that we've got them. And we know that.
Sorry, I just wonder if my students can actually answer these questions for us and also give us the reasoning, because I know that they're so clever. Sorry guys about the background. My dad just likes you so much. But anyway, so you guys can raise your hands to give us all the reasons that you remember, and also to answer questions. Hey, Teacher Sam, if they can help us out, I think that would be really lovely.
Yeah, so maybe if you guys are ready, have a look at this first one, and then you can raise your hand, or you can put it on the chat. If you can, or someone can give me the value of X. And remember, as Yolanda said, we always need a reason. So your value for X and your reason.
Okay, so we have Tando. Tando, we're gonna unmute you and you're gonna teach us now on the first one. Hey, Tando, hi.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Tando.
Okay, so in order to get X, we're gonna have to add 75 degrees plus 15.
Okay.
Then we minus the answer which I got is 90 degrees. We're gonna minus it.
Sorry, Tando. Just to clarify something. Remember that we're making a statement, and then after that, Tando needs to give us a reason. Remember that, because that's our first standard way of writing everything. So you need to give just Sam a reason. Why are you saying X plus 75 plus 15 equals to 180? What's your reason?
Oh, the reasoning for, ma'am.
So remember, these are the 2 reasons that we've done. So which one did you use to start
angles on a straight line?
Awesome, yes. Well done.
Woo! You got it. Well done, Tando. There we go. You can continue.
Okay. And then we're gonna have to minus on the right side and on the left hand side.
Good. And so what is your answer for X that you get?
I then got 90 degrees.
Awesome. Well done. Well done, Tando. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much. So if all of those hands were to answer, please, you can put them down now because they have answered it. If it is for to ask a question, please leave them there, and then I can unmute you and you can ask your question. Okay. Then
guys,
just can help us.
Just to go through what sort of is saying in this answer, remember, Tando told us that our reason here would be angles on a straight line. I know if I add all 3 of those angles up, so the 15, the X, and the 75, I should get 180 degrees, because if I've got angles all on a straight line, all next to each other, then they need to add up to 180 degrees. So this is sort of the reason why I've made the first statement. And remember, we've got that reason there that we always have to have. So I know if I say x plus 75 plus 15, I must get 180. From there, we just go and solve for x. So as Tando said, 75 plus 15 gives us 90. I just need to mean up the one side. And then to get x, I would have to subtract 90 on both sides. And so as we've said, x is equal to 90. Okay, cool.
Nice. It's like we don't even have any questions. Then we can continue. Well done, my babes.
Okay, guys, take a screenshot if you need to, just in case you didn't get all of it down or you didn't get the diagram, and then we'll have a look at the second question. Okay. Right, so here's question 2. What we are wanting to do is we are wanting to find the value of B. Alrighty. So have a look there. Remember the 2 reasons that we have spoken about are angles on a straight line and angles around a point. Give it a try. And then if you want to raise your hand or you want to pop it in the chat, let us know and we will hear your answers. And remember, guys, you have to have reasons for every statement that you make. So make sure when you put your first statement, you give your reason as well.
Okay, we have Amahle ready. So remember that everyone else is also just trying this question. I can see some answers also coming on the chat. Well done, guys. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm gonna give this one to Amahle. Since it's a revision, we're going a little bit fast, but remember you are allowed to take screenshots and ask a question. Okay, I can see them answers coming on the chat. Amahle, we are all yours.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, Mahle.
So, ma'am, I said we know that this is an angle around the point because by 243 we have a little circle. So the reason, so it'll be 360 minus 243 minus 94, which will give us 23. And our reason is angles around a point. So
Awesome.
B equals 23.
Awesome. Well done. So I'm just going to say pineapple a little bit differently, but that is perfect. So guys, what Amahle is saying to us is that because we've got a central point here, and we can see that all of these angles are around that central point, I know that if I add them all up, I must get 360 degrees. So that is sort of my logic for my first statement. So I know B plus 94 plus 243 must give me, as Amahle said, 360 degrees, right? Reason, angles, round a point. Remember, this is maths. We're happy with you abbreviating and using symbols for angles and certain words. From there, we can now solve for B. So B is equal to 360 minus 94 minus 243. And so B is equal to 23 degrees. And I saw some lovely answers coming there on the chat. Guys, also just remember, if you want to check yourself, if you now go take this 23 and put it back into the position of B, so over there, if you now add 23, 94, and 243, we want to get 360. So you can always go double check yourself by using your answer and substituting it back into what you were given. Alrighty, so in that case, our reason was angles round a point. This is one of the 2 reasons that we have already learned. Okay, so take a screenshot if you need.
Okay, we also have some hands up there. So if your hand was up there to answer the question, it has been already answered. You can lower your hand. But if your hand is up there to ask a question, then you're more than welcome. Okay. So now I'm going to take questions like this teacher said to explain to you. So I'm going to start with Enhle. Enhle, please unmute on your side and ask your question. The rest of you, please make sure that you put your question also on the chat. Like this, we can move faster.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good. So, ma'am, my question here is that how is it that it's B plus 994 degrees.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that if let me just erase some of my scribbles so that we can see clearly. So if I look at my diagram, what I see is that if I take the 243 degrees plus the B plus the 94, so if I add all three of those angles together, it actually forms a circle. So that circle we know consists of 360 degrees. So what I'm saying here is that if I add all of the angles, so the B plus 94 plus 243, I should get 360 because it forms that circle. And that is sort of my reason why I'm using angles around a point and why I'm then adding them to then solve for B. Okay, so when I add all three of those, I have to get 360 degrees because they all come all around one central point. So if I add them together, I have to get that full revolution.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure.
Okay, guys, remember that we are listening, right? And as I ask, so most of you needs to also type your questions on the chat, okay? Like this, we can go faster. So Farid, Farid is gone, nice. Palesa, we are all yours. You can ask your questions.
Oh, hey, ma'am.
Hi, Melissa.
Ma'am, so I added I said 94 plus 243 degrees, which gives me 337, right? Then I said 337 minus 360, and then I got a negative 23 degrees.
Okay, so just remember, like what you're doing is absolutely fine, but just remember it'll be 360 minus 337. So you just need to swap the order you're subtracting.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure. So guys, that's actually quite a nice question. When we are working with geometry, if you ever get a negative answer, you've done something wrong. We don't work with negative angles in these sorts of questions. So if you are getting something like that, just double check your working out and make sure that you haven't maybe like switched the values, or you haven't forgotten about a negative somewhere, because we should only be getting positive answers. Okay.
Okay, guys, because we're running late, Teacher Sam, do you have another question like this that we can give them to practice? Like this, maybe their question can be answered. There we go, guys. Let's try to tackle this one. And if you still have questions, please do put them on the chat, or you can raise your hand. But let's have it a try on this, and maybe you will understand a little bit more. Okay. All the best. Let's do this.
Guys, if you do have questions, you're welcome to, as Yolanda says, put it on the chat. Otherwise, direct message one of us and we'll definitely get to your question if you don't feel like putting it on the chat with everyone. But please do ask, just because unfortunately we only have an hour, so we can't get to everyone's hands. But make sure that you are asking those questions, whether it's on the chat, a direct message, or your raised hand. Okay. Right, so obviously here, guys, I want the size of angle A and of angle B. And remember your reasons when you're writing down your answers. We always have to have a reason for geometry. So do you remember that you're putting those reasons down? Nice.
I see some answers already. So I think my people are ready to listen. Who is the student that is going to rescue us? Let's see. Bongo Gushe, I'm coming to you. Let's see if you can rescue us. What do you think, Bongo Gushe?
Hi, ma'am. Can you hear me?
We can?
Ma'am, I have an answer for B.
Okay, cool. What would your answer for B be?
B is 100 degrees because vertical opposite angles.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that is 100% correct. For now, I'm not going to write it down just yet because I actually wanted to use this example to lead us into vertically opposite angles, which we're going to do today. But you are 100% correct with your answer. You would get full marks for that. I'm just going to not write it down just like that just yet. All right. Okay. So
can I take another student to help us with the one you're looking for? Okay, Ntando, I'm coming to you. Please unmute on your side, Tando.
There we go. Hi, Tando.
Hey, ma'am.
Okay, tell me.
Ma'am, the value of B equals to 100 because 100 must be the same value as B, right?
Okay, yeah, why?
Because they are opposites, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So 100%, B is
And-
100, and then A,
And
yeah?
A equals to 80
Yeah,
because 80 plus 80 must make 160 degrees to add to the 200 I already got.
okay, I'm with you. And why, how do I phrase my question? Why are you using 100, 100, 80, and 80? Why all of those? What should they all equal to when we add them together?
316.
And your reason would be?
You can do this.
Point.
Angles round a point. Awesome. Okay, so that is also a perfectly valid way to get to this answer. So A is equal to 180. You can also use A is equal to 180 because of angles on a straight line. That's absolutely fine. And so you guys, in geometry, often there's multiple reasons that we can get to the same answer, and all of them are fine. So already we've had 3 different ways to get to exactly the same answer, which is absolutely fine. And that's also what's quite cool about geometry. Okay, so A is equal to 80. Now I am going to use angles on a straight line again for 100, but as I've already said, if you've used vertically opposite, that is fine. I'm just choosing not to right now because we're going to do vertically opposite as our reason today. And this was sort of leading us into it. And so what Tando sort of pointed out to us is that what we can see in this example is that this 100 degrees and this angle B are the same, all right? And in seeing that, as also Tando sort of went on to go and explain even further, we could also then go and say that this angle A and whatever this angle is here that we don't have a letter for, which is fine, should also be equal to each other. And this is leading us into our next reason. So guys, if you need to take a screenshot, please do. And then we're going to sort of chat about this new reason, vertically opposite. So take your screenshots if you need.
Okay, so I think that they still need some more explanation on how did we get 80. So if we can write all the steps that we would normally write when we calculate on a straight line, because some are still confused on the chat.
Okay, I will have a look now. Okay, guys, so okay, just take this all off. If we start right from the beginning and we look at our diagram and I start with A, I can see that those are angles on a straight line. So what that means is that A plus 100 degrees must give me 180. And my reason is, as I said, angles on a straight line. Okay, what that then means is I can solve for A. So I would have to subtract 100 on both sides in order to get A alone. And so A is equal to 80 degrees. So that's where I got my 80 degrees for A. Once I had that, and again, guys, there's lots of different ways you could do this. I'm just choosing to do it one way so that we can see a sort of a relationship. I could then use angles on a straight line again to work out angle B. So I know that A plus B should give me 180 degrees for exactly the same reason, angles on a straight line. And I've now worked out what A is. So I can actually substitute that in. I know that A is 80 plus whatever B is should give me 180. Now we want to solve for B. So I would have to subtract 80 on both sides. And so I get that B is equal to 100 degrees. Okay, so hopefully that's a bit clearer.
There we
And
go.
what
Yes.
what I'm wanting you to see is the fact that this angle of 100 is now the same as this angle 100. And we can see that they are directly opposite each other. And this is sort of the new reason that we're going to go into now. So guys, again, take a quick screenshot. Maybe this would be better with more of an explanation. And then we'll have a look.
Definitely understood. I did more. Thank you, Teacher Sam. I think my people are like so happy with this explanation.
Good. And guys, I know that I skipped a couple steps, and in future I will do all the writing out, but just bear in mind that it is okay that if it is quite an easy calculation, you're welcome to go straight to the answer with your reason. That is fine. Right, so if you had done it the way I had done it, where I skipped a couple steps and went to my answer with my reason, that is fine, if you are comfortable with that. Okay, cool. So if we now get into our next reason, and of course my blocks have all gone weird, but it's all right. We have now discovered that when I have got two angles that are vertically opposite each other, I'm just gonna make that a bit bigger, they are equal. Now, guys, remember there's some notation here that we need to be mindful of, which I'm just going to go over again. We have a statement here that says angle AED is equal to angle CEB. So AED is, whoopsie, this angle over here, and CEB is then this angle over here. I'm going to make that a bit neater. So the two red angles are the two angles I'm saying are equal to each other. And that is because, as we can see, when the two straight lines are crossing, they are vertically opposite each other. So this is now a new reason that we can use in our geometry. I've also made a statement here that angle AEC is equal to angle DEB. Now remember, this is a notation that we need to know to label angles. AEC is then this angle over here, and I'll do it neater now, and DEB is in this angle over here. So those two green angles are equal in size to each other. And again, that's because they are vertically opposite to each other. So this is our sort of new reasons that we're going to work with. And your reason that you will use, I'm just going to bring this a bit closer to us, would be vert-op angles equal. So in your brackets, when you've written down your statement, vert-op angles equal, that will be your reason if we're going to use these. Right. So let's have a look at a example at least before we go into a brain break, just so that we can get the hang of this, and then we'll do a couple more after we've had a bit of a break. Guys, if you don't understand what these notations mean, they are notations for angles. We did it in the very first lesson of geometry. So if you are new, go back and have a rewatch of those videos so that you can see how we label angles. These things over here are notations or how we label angles. It's just a label for a specific angle that I'm working with, right? The little triangle hat on top is telling me where the angle is. The angle is at point D, as we can see over there. Okay, but it is all in the first video, so you're welcome to go and have a watch of that so that you can see the notation stuff. Alrighty.
And you guys are gonna be fine. Teacher Sam is gonna go through an example now with us, and let's see how she does it. The rest will do it. Don't worry, you will be fine, I promise.
Okay, so guys, here's our first example. Nice and easy. We're not gonna stress too much to start off with. We want to find the value of angle X. Now, what is really important? If we plan on using vertically opposite angles, it has to be across or like the meeting point between two straight lines. So the reason I'm making the statement is if, let's say, for example, my one line had a bit of a weird kink in it, that's no longer vertically opposite. Like that angle is no longer the same as that angle because it's not two straight lines forming across. So we just need to be mindful of when we have these vertically opposite. They have to be perfectly straight lines forming that sort of cross or intersection. So if we go and have a look at this, what I can see is that 110 is directly opposite to X. And so that would mean that X is equal to 110 degrees. And my reason now, vert op angles equal. Now there's no working out because we literally are just looking at the diagram and seeing that they are vertically opposite to each other. All right, so x is equal to 110. If you don't believe me, I will prove my point by using the other reasons that we have actually learned. I'm not going to write it all down, but I'm just going to show you why it is 110. So if we aren't really agreeing with this or we aren't seeing this, if I do angles on a straight line with those two, I know that this is then 80 because 80 plus 110 must give me 180, right? If I then use angles on a straight line again with the 80 that I've just found in the x, well, x has also, guys, my maths tonight is really taken a hit. It should be 70 because 70 plus 110 is 180. And if I then use angles on a straight line again, x has to be equal to 110 because 110 plus 70 gives me 180. So even if you just kept doing angles on a straight line all the way around, you would get 110. But now we've got a shortcut. Now I know that if I've got two straight lines and they're forming this cross shape, I can just use vertically opposite angles. All right, so there's no need for me to do all of the roundabouts. I can just go straight to my answer. Like I say, no working out because you are literally just looking at your diagram, seeing that they're vertically opposite each other and telling me that they are equal. All righty. So take your screenshots if you need. Just want to see what my next one is. I'm not going to give you that one, but I'm going to give you a very quick example. Oh, it would also help if I went. Let's try this one before we take a break. Okay.
I know why people can do it. Guys who say that they wanted to answer again, remember, raise your hand. Now is your chance. Raise your hand. Let's do this.
Okay, guys,
see?
have a try. Excuse me. Remember, we are wanting to work out what the value of x is. So I don't want what 3x is. I just want what x is. So I'm seeing some awesome answers coming through, but remember, I'm wanting x.
Okay, my peeps, let's do this. Raise your hand, guys. Answer.
And remember your
you're ready.
reasons.
Whenever you're ready, I can see some hands up. Just I promised some certain people that I will take their hands, and I don't see, guys, your hands. So don't blame me. Don't blame me. Okay, so I can see many hands down. But we're gonna come to you, guys. Remember, I'm just spreading the love. So those ones that haven't talked to us, we give them also a chance to talk to us. And Mpo, if you wanna help us out, you can press a little button on your side so you can answer.
X is equals to 15.
How did you
And
get
how-
that, Mpo? Teach us.
Okay, so if I put 3x over it and it will be equal to 45, yes, that means I had to multiply 3 times 5, which is correct.
Reason, Mpo. What's your reason for saying 3x equals to 45?
It's vertically opposite.
Yay. Yes.
Okay, so vert up angles equal. Okay, cool. So now how am I going to get that x alone?
Okay, so that means we have to calculate something to get 180. Okay.
Why 180?
Why? Because remember, because the angles are opposite like to each other, like you said. Like
So
you
that means
said.
that angle is 45 and that angle is 45.
Yes.
So we don't need to use 180.
We don't need to. Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, so guys, from this point, we've made our statement. We definitely know that 3x is equal to 45 because they're vertically opposite. And we've got those lovely straight lines that are forming the cross. So the ones opposite each other at the cross or like the intersection, they have to be equal. But now I just want x. So what I need to do is I need to say, okay, cool. Well, I'll take 3x and divide it by 3. But then I need to do the same thing on the other side and divide 45 by 3. And so that means that x is equal to 15 degrees. Now, again, if you want to check yourself, take your answer and substitute it back into your diagram. 3 times x, so 3 times 15 is 45. And you can see that your two angles that are vertically opposite each other are equal in size. And so we've
Well done,
correctly
Bo.
worked it out.
Well done, Bo. Thank you for helping us.
Okay, so guys, take your screenshots if you need your screenshots. Obviously, remember, this is a new reason. We're going to do more practice on that. So don't stress too much if it's still a bit confusing. What you need to take away is that any angles that are opposite each other at a cross are equal to each other. Okay. Right, we're going to have a little bit of a brain break now. We will do more examples. It's just a little break so that we can take a break from our geometry. Remember, guys, if you're not...
Teacher Steph didn't forget, guys. Remember, all our newbies, we have named our brain break to like different names. So Teacher Sam remembered that our brain break is called brain refresher.
Okay, this brain break 5 minutes for those of you asking. So if you need to run to the loo or something, run to the loo quickly. But I'm carrying on in a few minutes. Right, I know that we had other names. I've written them all down somewhere. So today it's brain refresher. Maybe next week it'll be something else. So guys, remember, the whole point is for you to just get up and stretch and move your body a little bit. And then I'll always put like a little maths brain teaser thing for you to give a try. In this case, I'm sort of asking you what a caterpillar plus 2 flowers times the clock is. You need to just remember your order of work. And we want the values of those 3 different images. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, that's fine. But do make sure you're just getting up and stretching and moving your body. And I do see some hands, so I'm hoping that's for some answers to our brain refresher.
Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so Kopano, let's hear from you. What do you have as an answer? Final answer.
So a worm is equals to 7. So if you take 21 divided by 7, it gives you 7.
Perfect.
If you take 21 divided by 3, it gives you 7.
Exactly. Good. Awesome.
Okay, so we have another hand. I guess more people have to answer. So Kia, we are all yours. What are you going to help us with?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So I think the clock is 6.
It is 6. I think I heard you. I would agree with you, because if one caterpillar is 7 and we need to get 19 and the clocks have to be the same, well, we're missing 12 if we've already got 7. So each of these clocks has to be 6. Awesome, Kia. Thank you.
Well done, Kia. Bridget, let's hear. Oh, wow. I'm so happy. I'll hear from all these people today. Bridget, let's hear from you. What do you have to say? What's the flower? Bridget, are you there? Okay, I'm just gonna move Bridget. Farid, we are all yours. You wanna explain how did you get the flower?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi. Do you want to tell us how you got the flower or what the value of the flower is?
It's 2.
Awesome. Okay. So guys, we know that when we add 1 flower, a clock, and a caterpillar, I should get 15. I already know the clock and the caterpillar are 6 and 7, so that's 13. So I'm only missing 2. Now, over here, there are 2 flowers, right? So this is actually a value of 4. So I just need to be careful.
Teacher Sam already gave the trap. That was the trap. That was the trap to trap my students. Teacher Sam loves you guys. I wanted that to be a trap for the answer, but a person
sorry.
who knows the answer. Oh, who hasn't cooked us? Amanda. Amanda, would you like to give a final answer for us?
Hi, ma'am. I think the answer is 31.
Awesome, well done. So guys, just be careful. The other trap is sort of your order of work. What we need to remember is that the multiplication has to come first. So we first want to multiply 4 and 6, which gives us 24. And then only do we want to add the 7. And 7 plus 24 is exactly 31. So just always be mindful of order of work when you're doing even just basic sums or questions. Order of work is very, very important. Awesome, guys. Right, are we ready to do some more geometry? Yes. Okay. So let's have a look at this one. Right, I'm going to get you started, but then you're going to try the rest by yourself. So if we have a look at what we've been given here, first thing I see is that I've got a cross. So that automatically should be like a little alarm bell in my head. Maybe I can use vertically opposite angles. Now I see I can because it's 2 straight lines, perfectly straight lines forming that cross. Oh, yeah. And so what that means is that that angle of 2x minus 40 is equal to x plus 30. So just in like my words, and if I'm going to repeat myself now, I'm already starting to set up my first statement. So I said that 2x minus 40 must be equal to x plus 30. Okay, so if I now put that into a statement for myself, I would have something like this. And my reason would be vert op angles equal. Okay, so I've got you started. What I'd like you guys to do is now go solve for x. So tell me what x's value is over here. And you can put it in the chat, you can raise your hand. And then we can hopefully get an answer.
Okay, we have Musa. Musa, would you like to give what did you do after the step to find x? There we go, Musa.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I think the answer is 20. Because you like the 2x, you divide it by itself, then you do the same with the 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, but what about the other side of the equation?
The one of 30, ma'am.
So if I'm going to divide this by 2 and that by 2, I also have to remember to divide that by 2 and that by 2. Remember, if I'm going to divide one of my terms in my equation, I need to divide all of them. Do you agree? Okay, so I think we've lost Musa there, but it's all right.
I think
so
Musa
guys,
muted.
So guys, what we need to remember, and like you are welcome to do that, you'll get the right answer, but just remember, if you're going to divide one thing by a value, we need to divide every term by that same value. So you will get the right answer if you sort of divide everything. That is fine. It does make our lives a little bit more complicated, but we can do it like that.
Okay, we have Micho. Micho, would you like to help?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I think that x is equal to 35.
Okay,
Did you get there?
what are your steps?
We first have to arrange the numbers according to their exponent.
Okay, so what would your next step look like? What would that look like?
It's 2x. It's 2x minus x equals to 40 plus 30.
Okay, so give me 2 seconds. Why did the x become negative, but y is, oh no, wait, hang on. Let me start again. 2x minus x, and then what did you say after that?
It's equals to 40 plus 30.
Okay, I'm not listening. Never mind. Okay, so
God.
continue.
Well, that me sure.
And then my next step is that 2x divided by 2, and then 70 divided by 2.
Okay, so
And then
just remember these are like terms because you've arranged it so nicely for yourself. You've actually arranged like terms, so we can go and subtract those. 2x minus x is x, and then 40 plus 30 is 70. So we've actually got our answer of 70 there. We don't have to divide anything by 2. Again, it would go back to, if you're going to divide this by 2, we have to divide everything by 2. Okay, but because we have like terms there, all I actually do is I add my like terms together and then see what I end up with. And in this case, the 2x minus x just gave me x. Okay, well done though.
Well done, Misha. Well done for helping. Thank you, girl. You did well. Okay. So, guys, if these hands are up to answer, you can lower your hands down because Misha already helped us. But if you are confused and you want to ask a question, please make sure you do on the chat, and also you can keep raising your hand if you have a question, okay?
Okay, so guys, really importantly, when you get something like this, we set up our equation for ourselves because we know they're equal, but then just remember that once we have an equation, we solve it how we would solve any other equation. So we still need to use our inverse operations and all of those sorts of things to solve for x. And so when I saw that I had x's on both sides, I moved them all to one side and I moved all my constants to the other side, as we've learned to do in equation. So this is just solving an equation as you know how to do already. Okay.
Okay, so it looks like we have some questions. Lisa Kanya, we are on you, girl. You can ask your question.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm a bit confused when it comes to this now, ma'am. The first one, number 2, how I did it, I think I lost a step.
Okay.
Ma'am, I got 35, and are you finding the 3 eggs or what? Are you finding all of them?
We're finding x. We're just finding what x is. So I know that 3x is equal to 45. And so as we see here, I still have to divide both sides by 3 to get x alone. So that's why I got x equals 15, because 45 divided by 3 is 15.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're solving for x. Guys, that's really important. We are solving for x. Thank you, Lisa Kanya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for letting us clear that up.
Okay, Ente, we are all yours.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I actually want to ask that why didn't we divide by 2? Because the last, on the second line, why didn't we divide by 2 on the both sums?
Okay, so remember, I'm not dividing by 2 because those are like terms. I can actually subtract them first. So before dividing or doing anything, I always add or subtract my like terms, and that gave me x. So I ended up not needing to divide by 2 because I could just add them together or subtract them.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Okay, cool. Well done.
Okay, my peeps, we do have to, maybe, I don't know, yes, if we can do this question, maybe you'll understand a little bit more.
Okay, guys, take your screenshot of this if you need to.
Yeah.
And let's try another one. Okay, so if we go over to 4, remember I said to you, we're looking for that nice cross shape. So if we have a look here, this line over here is a bit weird. Like it's not really following a straight line. Whatever path I follow, it's like got a weird kink in it. So I'm probably not going to look at that line to start off with. But what I see is I've got 2 straight lines forming that lovely cross shape that I like so much and that I'm looking for when I'm using vertically opposite angles. So what that means is that the whole angle 75 is equal to this whole angle here, because those are the angles that are vertically opposite to each other. Because of where the cross sits, that is the vertically opposite angles. So I know that x plus 50 degrees must be equal to 75 degrees. Those are the angles that are vertically opposite each other. Those are the angles that must be equal to each other. I always need to put my reason, vert op angles equal, and then I can start solving for x. Okay, so from this point, and I can see some beautiful answers coming through on the chat. From this point, I now want to solve for x. So I see some hands as well. Does someone maybe want to tell me what my value for x is?
Okay, we're gonna go to take it as Uratile. Uratile, you can give us your answer. What did you get? How did you solve it? Teach us.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, Uratile. We can hear you, but the network is so bad.
I said 75 degrees minus 50.
Cool. And that gave you?
Yes, sorry, ma'am. I said 75 minus 50, and then I got 25.
Perfect. Well
Therefore,
done.
25.
Perfect. Okay, so guys, exactly as most of you have put on the chat there, and as Oratile said here, it is?
Therefore, x is equal to 25.
Perfect, perfect. So x is 25 degrees. And remember, you can check yourself. If you put that 25 back in there, and then you say, what is 25 plus 50? Well, 25 plus 50 is 75. And we can see that our two vertically opposite angles are equal. So we know we've done this correctly. Okay, so guys, it's really important. Vertically opposite, you're looking for that cross, and you then know that the angles sitting right opposite each other are equal in size. That is the reason vert op angles equal.
Oh, nice. Can we already run the poll, or you have, oof, I'm not sure if you can squeeze one.
No, I think we can run it. We can do a few more of these in the next lesson if we need to.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Steph. Well done to everyone. Guys, please do the poll for us. We love and we're going to leave you guys.
Okay, guys, so I'll try pop in like another example or two of these for Wednesday's lesson. So make sure you're there on Wednesday and we can do a bit more practice of this. But guys, really geometry, it is just practice. So the more you do it, the more questions you do, it will become easier, okay?